Alright, what is up there guys, this is Cobrak. We haven't done one of these kinds of videos in a while where I just talk about my add-ons a little bit, and things like basic macros, because I only really use basic macros, so we're going to be covering all of the interface related stuff that you guys quite often ask about on stream and in the comments, all up in this video. So getting straight to it, we're just going to go over the add-ons first because they're the most simple. You can search for these on Chaos. If you just go into the Chaos WoW add-ons section, you can just search all these add-ons by name. Quite easy to come by. Quite easy to set up. A lot of them are pretty lightweight. I don't like any intrusive add-ons. I like a minimalist UI. So if I haven't put the links to these add-ons down below in the video description, which I'm probably going to forget, let's be honest, because it's me, right? You can just search for them on the Chaos website, you know. So I use the Auctioneer add-on. I'm not going to show this one off, because honestly, I just don't really use it that much. I use it when buying things on the auction house. You can just search for things by name. You get a couple of extra tabs. In fact, we should just show it off real quick, right? Yeah, it's not exactly a combat-related add-on, but for example, if I wanted to buy me some Frostweave cloth to make some nets to use in the battlegrounds in a world PvP, I could just search in Frostweave cloth. Oh, I spelled it completely correct. But you can just search it right there, or you can see right here down the bottom, we have a couple of new tabs right now. So if I just hit buy here, Frostweave cloth, hit search, it scans through all of the auction pages, and it just finds you the very, very cheapest that you can buy. As you can see here, we have one stack of 14 for 12 gold in total, and it works out to 86 silver per unit, so fuck it. And it's sometimes a little bit laggy when you press the buy button. That's why I don't really use it that much, but when you want to save some cash, it helps you out quite a lot, you know. It's definitely the best thing to use while buying mats and stuff like that anyway, because people tend to put on a million things on the auction house for like, you know, 80 silver each, lots of one-offs, unless you just press one button and buy a ton of them, you know. Alright, next add-on down on the list is called Hide Quick Join. Right, now I could disable this add-on. I don't think anyone is in the quick join queue right now. Oh, there is! Throxy. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm going to disable the add-on real quick. The quick join feature. Ugh. Love the idea from Blizzard, but whenever somebody joins on the quick join list here, I don't know whether Blizzard have changed this or not, but when they first introduced this quick join feature, you'd get a little pop-up right around here, like right above my head, you know, where I'm like wiggling the mouse around. You get like a little button that pops up there and tells you how many people are in quick join and what they're doing and stuff like that. And no, man, I hated that little alert piece of shit, so I went ahead and just downloaded Hide Quick Join just so it would just rip that shit off the screen for me, you know, because honestly, I just like as minimalistic a UI as possible. Alright, so OmniBar is actually our interrupt tracker. If you go into any of my, well, obviously more PvP-oriented videos, I can't actually show the add-on right here. Unless I go into interface, OmniBar. Oh, right here. So right now I actually have unused icons hidden. So if I just check that right now, you can see it here at the bottom of the screen, right? It's basically everybody's interrupt, and you can add any kind of spell or ability or interrupt onto OmniBar as well. And what it's going to do is just light these up and show me the cooldowns of nearby enemies. For example, if a Feral Druid uses Skull Bash and he's kind of within like 40 yards of me, it's going to pop up on OmniBar and just let me know that he's used his kick, he's used his interrupt, and it will show me how much longer it's got before it goes ahead and regenerates, rather. OmniBar, really, really good add-on. So I'm just going to hit show and use add-ons and just hide those. I like to just be clean as fuck, so that if I see nothing at the bottom of my screen, like it's just empty right here, then I know that that rogue who was beating the shit out of me hasn't used his kick yet. And when I go to maybe like Duke of Fear like this, if a little kick icon pops up below my fear, like my fear cast bar, pops up at the bottom of the screen, I know that the rogue has used his kick, and I can keep track of that cooldown. So it's a really, really cool little add-on. Fairly simple to configure, I want to say. I can just kind of like shift through these right now, and you can sort of pause the screen right here if you want to copy some of my settings. But honestly, it's one of those that's just very, very easy to customize. And thus, it's just sort of up to you, right? I know that my UI is very, very simplistic. I know a lot of people who like to use add-ons like to really jazz up the user interface, make it look all different, you know. In fact, we can actually add a couple of new things to it as well. What should we add to it, man? We'll get to that in just a little bit. But you can see here, you can just click on any class in the game, and you can add any spell to be tracked. If I want to track a fucking mage's blink cooldown, right? I might be a melee. This might be quite important to me, you know? Might want to go ahead and track a mage's blink cooldown. You can track whatever the fuck you want with it. It's a really, really cool little add-on. Alright. Next one on the list, OmniBar, we have Quartz. First of all, I'm going to disable Quartz. Quartz is a casting bar add-on. You can see right here if I go ahead and cast a Chaos Bolt. Look at how tiny and weedy and horrible that little cast bar is. I don't know. This is mainly just... It's mainly like an aesthetic thing. The Blizzard cast bar, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's sort of okay, right? It does its job, but it's more for the sake of the videos for me, right? It's more for the sake of the videos. I like things to be really, really clear. I know not everybody has the quickest internet. Not everybody can watch in like high quality or full screen or whatever. So if I just go ahead and enable Quartz again, it just makes it super, super clear for you guys to see. And there you go. We got like the little spell icon there. We got the ability name. I always like having the big green cast bar as well. I just find it more eye-catching. A really, really cool little thing that you can do with the Quartz bar as well is enable it for things like your target, right? I don't have this one enabled or anything like that, but you can have, you know, your pet having a custom cast bar anywhere you want on the screen. As you can see, you can change the positions, the height, the width, the colors, and all that kind of shit. On any of the cast bars that you want to add. I only use player tag, of course, like player, like that's my own cast bar, right? And I can also make one for my focus tag as well, and I have that one enabled too. And what that does is that I'm just going to set myself as focus right now. You can see my own focus tagger right there. Start casting a pet. See how clear that is? You see how clear that is right there? I can totally see whatever my focus tagger is casting. Really, really fucking easily. And lets me land, you know, those super quick interrupts whenever you need them, you know, just hit that focus spell lock, whatever it is. So I suppose Quartz actually does have some pretty significant uses after all. Anyways, moving a little bit further down. All the grayed out ones, by the way, aren't necessarily bad add-ons. I actually quite like using them. I just don't have them enabled right now. A lot of them I just don't have updated. Gladius, I definitely recommend getting a functioning version of Gladius if you're going to play some arenas. Move Anything is the same thing. I'd love to use this add-on just to kind of shrink down all of my action bars and stuff like that, and it just makes things a little bit cleaner to watch and things like montages for you guys. But I just haven't updated this one, and the UI is sort of clean enough as it is, I think. Nameplate cooldowns is kind of like Vial cooldowns. If anybody remembers me using that one, it just shows enemy cooldowns over their nameplates. It sort of does a very, very similar job though to OmniBar, and I feel like OmniBar is just that little bit cleaner, so I'm choosing OmniBar for the time being. Rare Scanner, Recount, Spy, not really that relevant add-ons right now. TinyPlates, this is one that you guys ask about a lot, right? I'm just going to disable TinyPlates right now. We can look at Blizzard's RuneScape fucking nameplates. Look at look at how horrible these nameplates are. You know what the worst thing is, right, about these overhead nameplates? Is that this isn't even the fucking default, man. Where the hell is this goddamn setting? Oh, there it is right there, actually. Larger nameplates. Oh my god, look at how crappy they look. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I like to click to target. It's just the way that I do things. I know that some people do, some people don't. And trying to click to target and keep track of all the shit that's going on screen with nameplates that look like this, it's just not fucking feasible, right? You can hit the larger nameplates button just to make them bigger and a little bit easier to see, but we go all the way and we just go ahead and use TinyPlates add-on, right? TinyPlates, it's fucking awesome. So how do you get it to look exactly like this? It's one of those pretty simple to set up add-ons, but I'll just show it off really quick. Interface, add-ons, TinyPlates. We set the theme right here to Quattro. I think it's set to No, what is it set to begin with? Neon? I think it's actually set to Neon to begin with, which looks pretty cool. You get like this little glow effect around the nameplate and all that, but I've never been one for overcomplicating things. I just like the big blocky Quattro ones. You can set up different profiles for, you know, depending on what spec you're playing and all that. I just kind of leave all that stuff untouched, though, to be honest. So if you're playing like a bunch of different classes, a bunch of different specs, different roles and things like PvE as well, you can go ahead and just fucking customize the shit out of these. I haven't really done much customization at all. I think I changed some of the health bar colors here, and that's really about it. Alright, and that is about going to do it for the add-ons. Let's brush over the macros really quickly. I always get quite a lot of questions about what macros I use. You know, fucking can't even type today. What macros I use. They're really, really, really simple, okay? Alright, so this macro right here is one of the macros that I would consider to be one of the most basic, and yet it's this style of macro, the style of, you know, target equals mouse over comma exists macro. This kind of macro basically makes up, you know, half of the macros that I use, okay? What this macro does is cast a havoc over whatever your mouse over target is, whatever my cursor is hovering over. It's going to go ahead and cast a havoc on that target. And if I'm not mouse overing a target, then it will just fucking havoc whatever my main target is, right? So let's just see if we can show that off a little bit. It's important to note here, right at the end, this is like the most fucking important bit, right? You've got slash cast, close bracket, target equals Mouseover, comma, exists, close bracket, havoc, semicolon, havoc. So it's basically just, it's encompassing two different uses of the same ability, right? For example, right now, if I want to fucking havoc this guy, who I'm mouse-overing at this moment in time, I can just go ahead and do that. No problem at all. But if I'm targeting this guy, and I want to, let's just set this guy over here onto focus, right? This guy is like the fucking healer over here. And I want to havoc him, but I don't want to lose my target on this guy, you know? I'm like PvEing down this guy right here. I can just mouse over the guy over here. Bam! And because I'm mouse-overing him, it will havoc him. Likewise, if I want to mouse over this guy, this guy, this guy, like, it doesn't really matter. And it just lets you get off, you know, double coils and stuff like that really, really quickly. And I don't know, I just fucking love mouse over targets. Rather, mouse over macros. Really, really smooth to use, you know, especially for somebody who targets things like I do with these big chunky nameplates. It makes it really, really easy just to throw my havoc around whatever target I want instead of things like double coils. So again, this right here, this mouse over havoc macro applies to things like my spell lock. My spell lock operates in a very, very similar way. It's just the same macro with the ending changed. I believe that my coil also operates in the same way. My mortal coil right here, as you can see, operates in exactly the same way. Whenever I'm mouse overing, for example, I'm targeting this guy right now, I mouse over the guy behind him, it will coil him instead. Really, really useful style of macro, and it's really up to you how you want to use this. I use it with fear as well, as you can see. Whichever one I'm mouse overing, it's gonna go ahead and land the fear on. So apply it to whatever ability you want, you know. I'm not going to go through all of them and be like, oh, this is my one for fear, and this is my one for blah, blah, blah. Just go ahead, be creative with them yourself, and, you know. And the second style of macro that we use is probably the most simple, right? It's just like a focus, basic fucking focus macro, okay? As you can see, my macros are very, very simple. They're all either focus macros or goddamn mouse over macros, right? Focus mollyporf right here, slash cast, close bracket, target equals focus, close bracket. Polymorph! Fairly simple. Same thing right here with pet seduce, you know, target equals focus. I've added seduction and mesmerize to here just in case, just so I can use one button for the same style of pet. And it's the same thing with spell lock as well. So if I just set my focus target, it's like this guy over here right now, PvEing up this guy. Oh no, he's trying to cast something. I can just hit my focus macro right here, which is my sneaky silence macro, which is one of my most overly convoluted ones. As you can see, it includes both command demon and spell lock. I'm not quite sure which one you're supposed to have, so I just included both of them, and the macro works just fine. So all fairly simple stuff, right? You can apply this to fear as well. So if I'm tagging this little potato head right here, say I land like a focus spell lock on that dude. Oh, the spell lock's gonna end. Quick, fear him. And then a fucking mouse over havoc into a double coil and all fairly simple. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. My macros, my add-ons, it's all fairly basic stuff. But there you go. I hope it answered the question for all you guys who've been asking. Sorry about the lighting, by the way, in the background. Like, this room isn't even that bright right now, but for some reason in the camera it's just like fucking, you know what I mean? It's like the rapture's going on outside. It's insane. But anyways, hope you all guys all enjoyed this video. Hope you all enjoy the add-ons. What the fucking hell was that? Oh, it's fucking Caligos giving somebody a legendary weapon. Okay, shut the fuck up, Caligos. I'm gonna catch all you guys just a bit later. Remember, you can support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, and checking out our Patreon page, which is always linked below in the description. So cheers again, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. People give so much of a damn about what strangers think of them.